it's Johanna, and today I'm with the Illinois Farm Families for another episode of In the Kitchen with Mama Cuisine, live from the McHenry County Fair. And we have some really great guests from Illinois Farm Families. We have Michelle and Rosie who's here, and we're gonna talk about what we love to eat the most: beef, pork. We're going to talk about dairy as well. Such a Midwest, things that we love here in the Midwest, and we want to talk a lot about that today. So before we go any further, let's just go ahead and get Michelle up here today. Give her a round of applause. Hi.
It's great to see you.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for being here
Yeah.
at the fair. We're just
I'm
so
in your
happy.
hood today.
Yes, yeah. This is my home county. We're in Woodstock, Illinois, and we're just thrilled to have you here. Thank you so much.
So tell us about McHenry County. What's in and around here? You know, us Chicagoans, there's a lot of families that live towards the city. And they come out for things like the county fair. But tell us about this county.
Sure. We're kind of in a transition right now. Our county was agricultural, growing a lot of corn, soybeans, wheat, oats, hay. We also had quite a few dairies in the county, along with some people raising beef and pork, sheep as well. But now we've gone a little more suburban. Pretty much everything east of 47 is now kind of a suburb of Chicago. But the neat thing is we still have a lot of rural areas. Pretty much everything west of 47 is still agricultural. We don't have as many dairy farms, but we do have a lot of people that have gone into agritourism and raising a lot of specialty crops. We've got a lot of, like I said, the city people that came out, moved west. So they like to take advantage of some of the things that we have to offer, like orchards, you-pick orchards and berries. We've got all kinds of agriculture, corn mazes, etc.
That's the one thing. I was a city mom, and then we moved out to the burbs, and I just keep going further and further out because I love the quality of life.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people came out here for that. A little bit quieter, but that's, something else that we deal with in agriculture. Agriculture has always been kind of dirty and noisy, so it is kind of a learning curve for people that move out to the agricultural areas from the city. They have to learn, that animals sometimes can
Are loud
and a little bit noisy as well.
Well, I really love it. Thank you for having us. Now, the Illinois Farm Families, tell us about your involvement with them.
Sure. Illinois Farm Families is a group of commodity people, corn, soybeans, pork, beef, and also Illinois Farm Bureau. And Illinois Farm Bureau is a general agricultural organization. We represent small farms, large farms, everything in between. And we try to promote them and make, whenever we can make them more profitable, we'll do whatever we can, try to promote the products that they're growing and support the farm families and the rural lifestyle.
We really want to support them because there's a lot that they do for our communities, our food communities, immediate, and what people don't realize, it even goes outside of the town that they're in.
Absolutely, yeah. And Illinois Farm Bureau has about 390,000 members right now. So we represent them in Springfield and in Washington, D.C., promoting legislative efforts that'll make their life easier.
Now, how can everyday people like myself learn, or, where can we go to find information? Because today we're going to talk about food labeling, especially with meats. So let's talk about that. Tell us about it.
Sure. Our family, like I mentioned, we raise beef. My son also has a dairy. So we brought some samples here of some beef, some different cuts that we have. One question that I get often, and I sold our beef at farmers markets for about 11 years, so I'm kind of used to these frequent questions. One of them was, how do I choose a good steak? And what you want to look... We've got a sample of a T-bone steak here, and what you want to look for is the marbling. That would be the intermuscular fat here.
That's the flavor.
Yes, you need fat for flavor, which you well know. But yeah, that would be these flakes of white in the steaks. Don't pay too much attention to the fat on the outside. Generally, that gets cut off. Most good butchers will do that for you, but it's the intermuscular fat, the marbling, that will make a good steak. As far as the label goes, everything will be labeled by the USDA, and I'm going to really simplify this. There's a lot more to it, but you've basically got prime, choice, and select. In prime, you can consider like an A grade. Choice, you can consider the B, and then select would be more of a C. So I would always advise people to buy prime or choice whenever you can, just so you get a more consistent, better quality.
Choice is what I see most of the time.
Yes.
In like your neighborhood markets and grocery stores. So we're getting a really good quality.
Absolutely, yeah. Even my local Jewel now carries choice. So that's what I always look for too. Prime is generally found in upscale restaurants, hotels, things like that.
Now, what other things about labeling? Because there's a lot, and it's something that people talk about all the time. There's so much. So help break it down to us, because you're the expert here.
Okay, well, I don't even know where to begin, but a lot of times what you see for marketing will be free of. And for example, it'll say, free of hormones, free of antibiotics, things like that. What you should know, though, is that all beef is free of antibiotics. There's a very strict withdrawal period that every cattle farmer follows. If you do need to administer antibiotics for any reason, say a cow has a hoof infection or something, you certainly don't want to leave the animal without any medical attention. So if it can be administered a little bit of antibiotics to make it feel better, then the cattle rancher will do that. And we also work very closely with veterinarians. So the label here, free of antibiotics, antibiotic free, it kind of drives me crazy because
It's like, duh, yes.
all free of antibiotics. And as far as hormones go, hormones in beef, there is an implant that you can insert into the cattle's ear, sometimes under the hide, that will kind of on a time-activated basis kind of give the cattle some extra hormones, which helps them grow a little bit. But it's a very, very small amount. We're talking nanograms, and it's really nothing to fear. So by seeing this free of added hormones, it really is quite scary to people, and it shouldn't be. There's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. It's perfectly safe. And honestly, not every cattle rancher uses implants for hormones. We don't on our farm.
That is so fascinating. I'm so fascinated by this stuff because there's so much. As consumers, we just go for whatever the coolest or sexiest thing is on TV.
Yeah. It's marketing, and marketing now is fear-based. Everything is fear-based. Different products try to differentiate themselves, and unfortunately they use fear. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with the products that don't have all the labels and the list of free from.
Well, now since you're an expert, I'm going to have Michelle stay with me throughout this broadcast today. It's kind of a ladies' day here today in the kitchen, which I love. Thank you for your tips. Where else could we find more tips like this and read up on it if we wanted to?
Well, right behind us, we have watchusgrow.org, and there you could find other resources. There are a ton of reputable resources out there. The Beef Association has a website, but I would suggest watchusgrow.org. Go there first.
Very, very good. Thank you so much.